Hey guys, Jacob here. Is currently 27th of July 2021, and this is going to be this week's vendor reset. At the front desk vendor, that's on the Bellstone Armory chest piece that has 126,000 armor, 15,000 health, skill haste, and perfect efficient. If you guys don't have this, I'd recommend grabbing it, but at the same time, you guys can farm loot allocation areas to find one that has more rolls to your liking. And also, this is 15,000 credits, so if you guys don't really want to be spending this money, you can just farm the loot allocation areas trying to get one. Next is going to be the Cmg Banshee. That's health damage. If you guys need that for a health damage build, I'd highly recommend grabbing it. But overall, nothing really anything too crazy for sale at the front desk vendor. Now, since we are outside, if you guys just cut through the helicopter, pretty much landing pad that's right here, and go through these two doors, you guys will see clan quarters. Shout out to DOD and Kamikaze Von Doom. You guys will see this is the clan vendor. If you guys go right here, this is the clan vendor. That was the clan quarters, my bad. But this is the Quiet Roar. If you guys don't have this, recommend grabbing it. But at the same time, you probably can find better ones in the loot allocation areas because this one has swap speed, and I know a lot of you guys don't really want to be optimizing these guns really high, and they just cost a lot of money. Let's scroll through for more items in case any of you guys want to pick this stuff up. But overall, nothing really anything too crazy. But if you guys need any of this stuff, then I would highly recommend grabbing it. That's going to be about it for the clan vendor. Next up is going to be the theater settlements. This week they're selling the Celebrity Shotgun, which the rolls on this are pretty average, anything too crazy. But I will point out a few items you guys might want to pick up if you need them. First is going to be the Sokolov Concern Gloves if you guys are trying to make a weapon handling headshot build for SMGs, or if you guys are just trying to get a critical hit build, you could use these and change the weapon handling to critical hit damage. But this is I'm only saying this because I know a lot of new people are starting to play this game again, and if you're trying to just get some pieces to work with what you have, or my bad, can't speak today. If you're trying to find pieces just to find something that works and get you by, and for a build or use it as a substitute piece, you could buy this item. But other than that, nothing really anything too crazy at the theater settlement. Next is going to be the campus settlement, and this week they're selling the Tabula Rasa. This one actually is not too bad compared to some of the ones I've seen for sale. This one has damage to armor and damage to out of cover. So if you guys are trying to find one that's not too bad but want to optimize it a little bit just to get the rolls that you need, then I'd recommend grabbing this or farming loot allocation areas. Next is going to be this headshot damage mask. If you guys are trying to find max headshot damage, then you guys can buy this and just add it to your stat library. Or you guys could buy this mask if you guys are trying to use this for total armor or armor regen and just max out the armor on it. But other than that, nothing really anything too crazy at the campus settlement. Next is going to be the Dark Zones. This is DZ West. Keep this in mind. You guys will have to get a different type of currency to buy these items if you are new. So just keep that in mind. If you want to get that currency, you'll have to go into the Dark Zone, deconstruct some of the gear, extract it, and then pretty much goes to your stash box. Or you guys can open little tiny crates scattered around the DZ that give you one resource. But if you want to get them in bulk, then I'd recommend just going around deconstructing 20 items, extracting it, deconstructing another 20, extracting it. But if you decide to stack that stuff, that can be stolen. Just remember that. But this week he's selling the Rock and Roll Shotgun. If I remember correctly, last week he was selling the Rock and Roll Shotgun, so this is the second week in a row. This one's pretty much just above average. So if you guys need this, you could farm the DZ just trying to get it. But if you really want it, then you could spend the 153 credits. I'm going to scroll through a few more items in case any of you guys want to pick this stuff up. But overall, nothing really anything too crazy at the DZ West vendor this week. Next is going to be DZ South. And this week they're selling the Perfect Spark, the Door Kicker's Knock. This one has very low weapon damage, really high critical chance if you guys need that for a build, if you need max critical chance, and hazard. So if you guys are trying to make a critical hit build with explosive damage, you could use this because damaging enemies with skill increases total weapon damage by 15% for 20 seconds. So you could use this with a drone, seekers, just depends on what you want to use it for. But at the same time, you could probably find a better one in loot allocation areas. Scroll through a few more items in case any of you guys want to pick this stuff up, just to show you. But overall, nothing really anything too crazy at DZ South. The final DZ on the list is going to be DZ East. And this week they're selling the pinprick, which has max critical hit damage, almost max headshot damage, and rifle damage is 5.3. If you guys don't have this, I'd actually recommend picking this one up because the stats, you'd have 2 out of 3 that are max, and headshot's almost there, so you could optimize this and have a max pinprick sniper rifle. I'll scroll through for my items in case any of you guys want to pick this stuff up. But overall, nothing really too crazy this week at DZ East. And the final stop, this is not the Dark Zone, is going to be New York. Keep this in mind, they don't sell any named items, but if you guys need any of this stuff, I'd recommend grabbing it. I'm going to point out this M1928 Thompson, because it's max critical hit chance if you guys need that for your stat library. And I'm going to point out this max damaged armor if you guys need that for shotguns. But other than that, nothing or anything too crazy. I will also point out these Fender's knee pads if you guys are trying to make an AR build. If you don't have a pretty good Fender's chest piece, then you could substitute it with these knee pads, because they do have critical hit chance and critical hit damage. Now if you guys go through the atrium right here and past the green tent, and then you will see Roy Benitez right here. And this week, he's not really selling anything too crazy, no max rolls, but if you guys need any of this stuff or are trying to make a build with it, I'd recommend grabbing it, or if you just need the talent and trying to get it in your stat library. But it looks like he is selling 1 max stat, which is at the very bottom, that's why I didn't see it, and that's status effects. So if you guys need that for a status effects style build, then I would recommend grabbing it. But other than that, nothing really too crazy this week. In this week, this week's Vendor reset or lineup, but a few things you guys might need. I guess pick them up. If you don't, then you can just farm loot allocations for it. But overall, that's gonna be about it for this week's Vendor reset on July 27th.